We discussed in the portrait photography about catch lights, and portrait photographers go to a great deal of effort to set up their lighting so that they catch the best catch lights in the eyes. And this lesson is going to be on putting those in digitally after we get the photos. Now, the best thing that I would recommend you do is to go and just go through all of your photos and open them up, look for faces, and observe what those catch lights look like. That's how you're going to learn how to do them digitally, is by observing what's already there on your computer. And I have some here that we're going to look at. I went ahead and cut the people's faces out so they for their privacy reasons, so they wouldn't come along and get mad at me later. But here is a catch light that's pretty standard in most of the photos that I took. Now, I found that outside I did not get catch lights as much as I did inside, because of course inside we have our overhead lighting, and a catch light is basically just a reflection off of the lighting. And so if we zoom in, we can see this catch light when we get down to the real pixels. I found this to be true for most of the catch lights. It was white, really white in the center, and then gradually went out to more gray, and then they always seemed to have this purple. No matter what room or setting I was in, they had a little bit of purple on them. And so you can't really see that when you're zoomed out at normal view, but when you're zoomed in you can. So let's look at the next one. This is a totally different eye. It's funny because I know who these people are at the current moment. Probably won't a year from now. You can see her catch light was the same way. It started out white in the center and kind of went out to a purple. And both of these people I think have blue eyes, though. I did find that blue eyes seem to have more catch lights in them than the brown eyes. That was kind of interesting also. So go and do your own research. But this is what a catch light would look like digitally, and that's what you would probably want for realism. Now you can see the catch light in both of these were right in the middle of the I guess that's the pupil. Don't know my anatomy very well. Here's a different kind of catch light. This one, I remember him being direct, and this is actually a brown eye, directly across from a window. This one was actually taken in the hospital, and so the whole wall was a window, and he was looking into the window. And so you see this is a totally different shape. This is an oval shape right in the middle of the eye, so maybe sometime you might want to emulate that. Now this last one here is actually my eye and was actually taken outside. Look at all those wrinkles. But you can see now there's nothing at all standard about this at all, and you can see that there's actually a tree here. And so if you wanted, you could take a photo of a tree and actually use that, superimpose it on a layer over the person's eye, to create something like this. If you really wanted to get creative, use your own photos and make them really small and put them on a layer over here and play with blending modes and whatnot. I did find I think it was the color dodge worked well. We're going to look at that here in a little bit. This is my niece, and she doesn't look like this anymore, so I think I'm going to get away with sharing these. But these are some really cute photos I took of her a long time ago, because she has these biggest, most beautiful eyes. And you can see here that this catch light is excuse me, even more unique than the other Catchlights, and this is not in the center of her pupil. And most of the time, you go out there on the internet and you read, most of the time they say to put the Catchlights at 10 and 2, meaning 10 and 2 on the clock, which is right here and right here. But you see this one is more around where 7 and 8 is. And so there is no right or wrong answer, because this looks perfectly natural, and it's more on the way where you determine the lighting in the room to be, and where you and how they're tilting their head. And so I can tell you here, you can see from the lighting here, the windows over here in this room, and this eye actually has 2. And so there is no right or wrong, and you can see the shapes are different. We'll go back into this one. She's looking full on, and the reason they're on this side on the right is because you can see the shine in her hair. The window is on the right over here, and so in this particular instance, that's why those Catchlights are there. And you can see that there is no particular round shape to it at all. You can make brushes out of anything, use any sort of brushes, and put these on eyes, and actually the more irregular they are, probably the better. And here's another one, and whoops, it's the same thing, same position on the eye. You can almost see, if I go in, I actually can see, because I know what the house looks like. This is actually the wall, and this is the hallway, and that's a picture on the wall. So this is a true reflection of what is in the room, put right there on her eye. So and these are unedited photos. I would normally edit them. This photo here is one that has been edited a little bit, and we're going to play with it later in the next lesson to make her eyes pop. You can see they're not popping at all, and well, actually, it's this one. There are the natural Catchlights, and we're going to work on this one and make her eyes pop in the next lesson. But this is the same photo, and I took the Catchlights out, and so this is the one we're going to play with. I do want to show you this one. This is her curls. She's got the most beautiful curls. She's much older than this even now, and this is the same girl, and so I just had to stick that in there because I'm so proud of all her curls. They're just gorgeous. And this one here is some brushes I found online. You can go and search for Catchlight, or these are eye Catchlight brushes, and these must have been for pay download because I didn't have them. I did my Googling several days ago, and I don't remember, but you can see I like this one because it is half circle, and it made me think of some of those first Catchlights that we saw. And you can see how a lot of these are very irregular. You could make your own set of brushes just like this. It's not too difficult to do. Just take some brushes you have already and draw with them, and then make a brush set out of them. And almost any brush could be used to do this. I have here, let's go into our brush tool, some other brushes that I found for a free download, and I'm going to choose one of them. You'll see a lot of times the fake like starburst coming out from their eyes. That's what these starburst ones are for. Have you ever seen one like this where, let's make a new layer, and they have a twinkle in their eye. Those are always fake. I never found a twinkle coming out of an eye like that, but photographers do add them. Here is let's say like this one. You can see obviously way too big. Now I found I did not like a total white. I liked having slightly grayed, and then I'm going to say, let's see, if you put it on the 10 on this one, on the left, you need to make sure you put it on the 10 here. They're usually the same. I'm going to go ahead and stick it on this side since that's where the original was, and I'm just going to click down and lower the opacity a little bit so it blends into the eye. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, higher opacity seems best. Never look at them like this because, well, obviously people are going to be able to tell how fake that is. So these starburst ones are not the best brushes, but when you zoom out, you can see how it looks. If you even do filter and print size, whoa, I wouldn't do print size. Or actual pixels. Wow. Well, when you zoom out, that's what's supposed to be the best judge of how they look. Not always the best brushes there. Here's some I found. This one actually had some trees in it. So here, look at this one here. Let's use our bracket key to make this smaller so it matches the eye. I'm going to make a new layer. I think it's more about right there. Oh, it's not a tree. You can see it's a house, a couple houses. So you can take and make something like this, a brush out of your own photos, our own photos. You don't have to go get these off the internet. And I'm going to change this one to that color dodge. And oops, color dodge. I was scrolling out on the wrong tool, and you can see what a big difference that made on that eye. Just play with the if the eyes were already fixed and were much brighter, which we're going to make them pop here later, then you might need to lower the opacity some or something like that if the eyes were already popping. But you can see that really made something pretty natural, and that was just a photo of somebody's two houses that they turned into a brush. So as a reflection in the eye, let's see what one of these others do. I don't even know what they are until you go stamp them. And these are just some free ones I got off the internet. I wish I'd paid attention to where they came from because I'd give credit. And oops, just getting rid of that circle around the eye. I don't like that circle. So this is actually somebody's window. So you could take a picture of your window and then use what did we use? Color dodge. Let's see what they look like when we zoom out. I think it would need to be over a little bit or smaller. There. Now you can see that looks pretty natural. If you didn't use the color dodge, certainly just lowering the opacity on it I think it needs some sort of vivid light. That worked really nice. The vivid light blending mode, because it brought out the color in her eyes. So there you go. See, that's just somebody's window that they took a picture of and then they turned it into a brush. And so you could do those yourself. If you're just doing basic catch lights, you're going to go get your brush tool and choose a soft round brush and resize it down. And we've got our color here so that it's, you know, just a slightly gray. And I'm on a new layer, and I can go and just touch down. And then that's kind of a big catch light, but she's got big eyes. And touch down. Oops, let's make them equal. There, now you can see this is the before and this is the after. But we saw how the purple came in, and so I actually have gotten a dark purple here. And I'm going to go into the color replacement tool. I'm going to choose color here, and you know, move your tolerance up and down. And then I'm going to just simply click and color part of this. There goes our alarm clocks. I'm working before they go off. I got up early today. And so if it's not quite dark enough, I'm going to move the tolerance up a little bit, and then I'm going to go over here and hit this one. And if I needed to go back in and undo part of it, I could, you know, hit it with the other brush. I actually might even go in with a low opacity eraser. Whoops, I need to be a lot lower opacity and make this like a half circle. See, you can make them however you want to. There is no right or wrong answer to this stuff. There's some different kind of catch lights, kind of natural. So you know, play with them, get crazy with them. I want to go in here and show you some. When we go back to the brush tool, if you observe, the hardness should be at, you know, 0 or pretty low. Otherwise, another technique you may see out there is to, you know, do a elliptical marquee tool and then right click and choose to feather it. I don't know how feathered it should be because I have not actually played with this yet. And then get your brush tool and fill that in. But you can see that that isn't any more effective really than a brush with the softness set. And so your softness being down, it actually feathers the edge on the brush anyway. But here's something that I want to show you. Over here is a nice little thing called roundness. If you hover over the word roundness, you can manually set it here by number, but if you hover over it here, you can click down and drag, and as you do, watch this over here. And you can see it has changed from a full circle to an oval. So I just made my brush into an oval, and I'm going to just click down right here and I'm going to click down right here, and now I have some very quick and natural catch lights like that one photo we showed right on top of the eyes. If you want, you can go back into the brush settings and change the angle of that brush. I'm going to do it about here, and then try putting the catch lights right here like that. And actually I find that to be a little bit more natural than any of the round catch lights. And if I wanted to, I could resize my brush down and maybe, hit it here and here, so that there's a little bit of irregularity to it, and you can see that makes very natural catch lights. Then I would go back in with that color replacement tool, and I'm on the color mode here, remember, and just hit some of that in the outer areas that is faded from the feathering of the brush, from the softness of the brush, and now it's even a little bit more realistic. So I think I've covered a lot about the brushes to give you some ideas. You can use any type of brush. Let's go back in and just find here it says natural brushes. Here's one. I have no idea, I've never played with this before, but I'm going to put a little whoops, let me do a new layer. Put a little catch light there. Oh, would help if I had the gray. Just put a little catch light there, and this one isn't the best, so then you would go and find another one to play with. Let's see. I have no idea what these do. Those don't look too hot. Could have put a smiley face in her eye. Prickly. Oh, no. No. Wet media. What is in here? Well, so far I'm not liking any of these other brushes. Well, that one's not too bad, whatever that one is. See, that one's kind of natural. You'd almost need to do it more than once. Here we go, there's some natural with just another brush. And so there you go. So your lesson for this one is to go out and make some catch lights all of your own. If you have to use the clone tool on your eyes, as I told you, I had this this is the same photo, and it has the natural catch lights in it, and just for playing purposes I just simply took the clone tool and cloned out the catch lights so that I could have a good eye to play with. So that's what I did. But we're gonna make her eyes pop in the next lesson, but I look forward to seeing your catch lights in this lesson.